everyone, Charlene here. Today I'm going to teach you how to create a glossy three-dimensional die cut sentiment. Let's go down to my desk and I'll show you what we're working with. So since we're getting close to Valentine's Day, I thought it would be fun to create a Valentine's Day card for my husband. I'm using the Lovely Layers playing cards, and that's where we're going to get our sentiment die cut from. We're going to use Lucky Pear here, and we're going to create a beautiful 3D glossy finished sentiment using the Lucky die cut. I'm also going to create a background using the Scattered Hearts layering stencils. There's two. You can create a really fun background with this stencil set. And then for the inside of the card, I'm going to stamp some of the stamps here from Perfect Match, which will go really well with this entire Valentine's Day theme. So let's start by grabbing what we need. To create our background, I have my well-loved sticky mat, and then I have an A2 sized piece of 80-pound Neenah cover stock in Solar White. I use this cardstock quite a bit for my card making. And then here I have two different colors of Distress Oxide that we're going to use. I have Kitsch Flamingo, which is a beautiful pink, and Lumberjack Plaid. This is going to go really well for Valentine's Day. I also have my blending brushes here. I have a red and a pink one. I'll start by grabbing one of the layers of the Scattered Hearts. It doesn't matter which one you use. I'm just paying attention up here to make sure that where the stencil ends, it's going to go along the top of the paper. And then I can go ahead and lay it down and push all the way around on the edge. That's what helps ensure that the stencil stays in place, and that's why a sticky mat is so awesome. Once I have that down, I'll grab my Kitsch Flamingo along with the blending brush. I like to use my sticky mat to hold my ink pad in place. I'll get some ink on the brush, work it into the bristles. I use my glass mat for that, but any slick surface works well. And then I'll take that ink all the way on the cardstock, using up the ink that I have on my brush before I grab more. And this just helps me to take a look at what color I'm getting and evaluate if it's light enough or if I need to increase the amount of ink that I put on there to make it darker. It's totally personal preference, but I think going slower and increasing your ink gives you time to really evaluate things. Also, if I see one area is starting to get too dark, then I can use a little bit of ink and add it in the areas that are lighter. It just gives me a whole lot more control over what's happening with my background. I do like to switch the direction. Normally I ink blend going counterclockwise, but then every once in a while I will switch and ink blend going clockwise. That also helps to ensure that I get into all of the various little nooks and crannies of the stencil and that there's a good all over sharp coloring of the image. Once I'm happy with the amount of ink, I can just peel my sticky mat back away from the stencil. That makes it easier to get a hold of the stencil and peel it off. Same thing with my ink pad. The sticky mat holds it in place, but if it gets stuck, I just pull the sticky mat away from it. It makes it easier to take things off. Next, I'll grab our Lumberjack Plaid here. The Lumberjack Plaid is such a beautiful color. It's definitely a true red. I feel like it's great for Christmas, Valentine's Day, lots of different holidays, 4th of July, just a nice true red. So I'll layer my second stencil on here now, making sure that none of those heart shapes are overlapping. I'm not worried if it's perfectly lined up how it was intended, as long as there aren't any hearts overlapping. Pressed it down around the edges, and now I can repeat the same process that I did with the Kitsch Flamingo, picking up the ink and then very lightly working it into the bristles and taking it all the way across the card front. So this is a really good example of why less is more. So if I wanted a really light pink and then having the Kitsch Flamingo be more vibrant, then this would be a good amount of the Lumberjack Plaid to leave on the card front. You can see here, I'll take up the stencil. It creates a very light, pretty red and looks nice with that pink. Now I want my background to be a bit bolder than that, so I'm going to come in here with some more of the Lumberjack Plaid and build up the red. I'm pretty happy here, so I'll do the same thing. Go ahead and peel off my stencil. Then I can take off the ink pad and lastly fold the sticky mat away from the paper so that I can remove my card panel and it won't bend at all. So now I'll just set that card panel aside to dry. Now we can move on to our die cutting. The Lovely Layers playing cards has all of the dies you need to create a full deck of cards if you wanted to. I'm just going to create 2 cards. This is actually going to be a pretty simple card. And I'm going to create a king and a queen because that just goes great for Valentine's Day. So I'll start by picking out some colors of cardstock. Have everything picked out here. For the base of my playing cards, I'm going to do this really nice light pink color. And then for the inset of the playing cards, I have some white cardstock. You can see there's those little heart shapes there. That'll make sense as we put it together. I've got those cut out. I did that twice. Now to create those hearts that are going to layer over the top of those little white pieces there, I'm going to cut those out of red cardstock. Then for the Q and the K, which will denote the king and queen, I have some black cardstock. And also for the second half of our sentiment, which is the letters that spell out pair, I'm going to cut those out from black cardstock as well. The second part of the sentiment here is individual letters. I'm going to hang on to the negative as well because I'm going to show you an easy trick for lining up your individual letters. You're going to love it. It works great. I'll cut the crowns for the king and queen from some brushed gold cardstock so we have a little bit of bling on our card. And then the lucky word die cut, I'm going to cut from that same red cardstock that I cut for the hearts. All right, die cuts are ready to go. I've kept them separated by card, so I'll pull out all the pieces here now to make the king, and I'll do a dry fit just to make sure everything looks good, the colors work well before I glue things down. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to hold off on attaching the crown until the very end. And that's because I want to make sure the placement works well with both cards based on the angle of the card when I put it onto the card panel. Hopefully that makes sense. So I can go through here and add glue to the back of each layer. I'll start with the white center, add some glue on there, and then I can adhere it on the center of the playing card, just so that there's kind of even spacing all the way around. Then add glue to the largest of the hearts, and this is going to layer over that white piece, and you can see there's 2 little bumps that come out on the side. That's going to line up perfectly with the heart. Then I'll add glue to the back of the middle-sized heart and put that in the center of the larger heart. You could do a different color here as well just by cutting out that portion of the die in a different color of cardstock. I kind of like the tone-on-tone texture here of having 2 red hearts layered over the top of each other. For the smaller hearts, I'll add some glue on the white die cut where those hearts go, and then use a wax pickup tool. It's so helpful when working with tiny die cuts like this. Same thing for the crown. There are 2 pieces for each of the crowns, and there's that little detail piece, and it goes just along the bottom of the crown. So using my wax pickup tool again, now I'll add glue to the back of the K, and this I can layer right over the center of the hearts. No rhyme or reason, it's just centered on there to look nice. Then off camera, I will go through and repeat that process for the queen. Now you can see we have our cute little king and queen cards. And now we get to that fun, shiny, beautiful 3D sentiment I was talking about. To create this 3D shiny word sentiment, you're going to want to grab a couple of things. You're going to want to start with a piece of heavyweight cardstock. This is 110-pound cardstock. You're going to want some type of tape runner that is repositionable. You could use permanent as well, but you would just want to make sure that you take some of the tack off with your hand before you put your die cut. Now I'm going to take the sentiment, turn it over upside down, and add just a little bit of that tape runner to the back, trying not to bend my die cut as I go along. You don't need very much. It doesn't need to be fully covered. Then you'll take that die cut, flip it over, and you're going to put it onto your piece of heavyweight cardstock just to temporarily hold it in place. Then grab some clear embossing ink and cover that entire word die cut. Just go to town. Make sure it gets nice and saturated. Once it's all inked up, then carefully peel your word die cut back off this area. Once it's peeled off, then take it down to the other side of your piece of cardstock, the clean area. And if you can, try to get it to hang off as much as possible along that bottom portion of the heavyweight cardstock. You're going to do that because we are going to be heat embossing, and this makes it so that it is as clean as possible. So we're going to put some embossing powder over the top of the sentiment. Since we moved to that clean side of the heavyweight cardstock, not as much is going to be sticking on the white part of the cardstock. I'm using ultra thick embossing powder. You also could use regular embossing powder. It would just take a few more layers. I've got my heat tool here, nice and heat up, and I'm starting to melt that embossing powder. Now here's the trick. While it's still hot, just dip it right back into that embossing powder, kind of shake it off, even tap it off, and then melt again. And keep repeating that. You're going to build up that embossing powder, and that embossing powder is going to melt to create this beautiful raised thick 3D result. You don't want to put too much. I probably went a little farther than I needed to, because if you can get just that right, magical amount on there, it peels off really easily. If you get a little bit too much, you might peel off some of the white cardstock with it. That's okay though. You just need to then kind of peel it off. You also could use some scissors if you needed to, but when you're done, you have this gorgeous 3D shiny word sentiment that looks amazing on the front of a card. We have all our elements here. I'm going to do a couple more things to really help create a focal point for the center of our card. And you can do this anytime you have a full background. I'm going to start with a shape and cut it out of some white cardstock. And you can see, watch this, I'm going to stick that white heart die cut back behind there, and you can see that already helps to make those cards stand out. But the heart's getting a little lost because of all the white in our background. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to softly change that background color of our panel. Really easy to do. I'm just going to go back in with that Kitsch Flamingo. I'll get a little bit on my brush. Less is more here, people. Less is more. And we are just going to slightly go around the edges of our panel, building up a little bit of a pink tone to our cardstock. Contrast is our friend. That is what makes our eyes happy, and that's what's going to help create our focal point. So now when I stick that heart back over the center here, you can see it creates a beautiful amount of contrast and helps to focus our eyes in on the center. To further increase the dimension, because I love dimension, I've got some foam tape here, and I'm going to add it to the back of the large heart. I'll also add some tape to the back of our playing cards. Then I'll lay everything out just to make sure. I love doing dry runs. Once I know where I want to put everything, now I can go from top to bottom, adding everything and putting it all together. So I'll start here with the crown on top of the queen, and then also do the crown for my king. I'll come in and remove that foam tape off the playing cards, and I'm going to adhere them so that they're down just a little bit from the top of the heart, so that creates a nice amount of space, negative space around them. And then I'm also going to adhere them so that they're at a bit of an angle. I'll start with the queen, and then I'll add my king, and I'm going to have the king so that the corner slightly overlaps with the queen, and you can see the angle mimics the shape of the heart. Then I can take the foam tape off of the back of the heart, and I'm going to try and center my heart. I'm going to have it come down about an inch from the top of my cardstock. I still want to have room for my sentiment down there at the bottom. And then I promised you earlier a trick for aligning letters, and I told you to hang on to your negatives. So we've got all of our letters. I'm going to pop them all out and take out any little extra pieces that I need to take out of the letters. Once that's done, I'm going to gently lay them back inside the negative. You may be going, what? Why? But trust me. So do that for all of the letters. And then once all the letters are laid back in their spot, just take a piece of low tack tape. Now, if it's translucent, that works even better. And just put it right across the letters. Make sure you have a little bit on each side. Then push down on those letters. And then you can carefully remove the negative making sure that your letters stay on the piece of tape. So go slow. Doesn't take very long, but don't be impatient. I'm an impatient person, and I always force myself to slow down at this part because it is so worth it for how easy it makes to line up letters. Once that's done, you just flip the whole thing over and add glue to the back of your letters. I just put a few dots, not too much glue. And once you've added the glue, you flip over the whole piece and you can hang on to those little side edges of the tape. That's why it's important to go a little bit past the letters and then lay down your letters so that they're nice and straight. Now, the nice thing about using the tape here too is that you can kind of move the ends of the tape around and adjust those letters slightly until it's nice and straight. And then once you're happy, you just push down on the letters. I do recommend letting it dry. Like I said, I'm impatient, and so I'm going to go ahead and pull the tape off very carefully before it's fully dry. But you can see we have a beautiful, nice, straight sentiment now. Now, lastly, we can come in with that gorgeous, lucky 3D shiny sentiment that we created and add some glue to the back. And I'm going to layer it over the bottom of the heart. Now, this is going to hang off slightly off the edges. I'm not worried about that because it is so nice and thick. It's not going to bend or rip or anything like that because we have such a nice heavy-duty sentiment. I'm going to have it slightly at an angle, kind of going underneath the Queen card there. And then as it dries, I am going to put an acrylic block over the top of it to help it weigh down just so that it adheres nicely to our white heart. For the inside of my card, I've picked out 2 stamps here from the Perfect Match stamp set. I've picked We're the Perfect Match, and I'm going to stamp this out in some intense black ink. Now, you could use black pigment ink as well, but you don't want it to smear, right? So if you don't like to wait, a good ink to use for the inside sentiment is always the intense black ink. I'm going to stamp this a couple of times to build up the color. I think that looks pretty good. Then I can come in and add some glue here to the back of the completed card panel, and then I will adhere it to that card base that we stamped the sentiment inside. Here is our finished Valentine's Day card with that fun dimensional shiny 3D sentiment on there with our cute little sentiment on the inside. I think my husband's going to love this. I hope that you all picked up some tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well as hit that notification bell so that you'll know about future videos here on the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.